She packed up the caravan and the dog and she left. Today's guest is a woman who didn't wait for permission. Anne Martin is a solo traveler and rock and roll dancer who chose aliveness after loss. Following the death of her husband, Anne set out across Australia on her own with her dog Rosie, a clear head, a good sense of humour, and a deep trust in herself. Her joy wasn't about bravado, it was about listening to that quiet voice that says, now. Along the way, confidence didn't proceed in this trip, it grew because of it. Anne's story was featured in What's Up Down Under the headline, Should Women Travel Alone? Why not? But what she really embodies is the grounded courage, embodied joy, and the freedom that comes when a woman chooses to live fully in her second act. And what I love about this woman is that she is my rock and roll dancing teacher, along with her partner, Trevor. And I have, like, really seriously felt so wonderfully safe, loved, and included at the same time as being so far outside my comfort zone by coming and learning dancing with you. So I am forever grateful to that, Anne. I didn't know dancing would become such a big part of Alice's in my life, and I love it. And bloody love you guys.
Thank you. We love you too.
No, thank you. So thanks for joining me today. You are a legendary woman. You've got such a cool story, which is why I wanted to have you on the podcast. So thank you for agreeing to say yes.
Thank you for having me, Jen. It's been a real privilege to get to know you through dancing, and we love seeing you guys every week. Come in, you laugh and you smile, and you have the whole team laughing with you. So we just love you guys too.
Oh, thank you.
Mm.
Thank you. All right. So I want to have a bit of a dig around because we're both Townsville girls
Yes, we
and
are.
both on the Gold Coast now. I'm
Yes.
curious, like after the passing, of your husband, what was the
Mhm.
moment when you realized if I don't do this now, I never will?
Well, when before my husband passed away, we'd had a dream to uh, pack up and travel and retire, and we'd never been to New South Wales, so we wanted to get to New South Wales at least. So Barry had been getting the ute, the back of the car all organised, and we had bought the caravan and everything was going well. And then one day he woke up with a headache and ended up having a brain tumour.
Mm.
Fast forward, he passed away 7 months later. We were, I was still at school when we first met, and we had three boys. And so we just led a normal, everyday life, working full time, paying a house off, things like that. But I had always wanted to, I had always danced, and he didn't want to dance, but I eventually got him to dancing. And after 8 years, he finally came, and then he ended up becoming a dance teacher as well. And then we went on to also teaching disabilities to dance with the adults at night time. And then the whole part happened when he passed away. And as always, you're devastated. You don't know where you're going to go from here. I had always said that how am I going to fulfill this dream of getting to New South Wales? And then one day it was like I literally got hit in the head from him, and he yeah, some things just hit me on the head, and I decided I have to do this dream for both of us. And so he came to me and told me that I was going to keep the ute because I was going to sell it. He said, "You're going to keep the ute, you're going to keep the caravan, you're going to buy a dog, you're going traveling for 3 months." And I just said, "Yeah, right, no, no." And then without going on too long, but I listened to my gut instinct because it was so real. And I went with my gut instinct, and I went out the next day and asked about a caravan that I had seen the vision. And the guy said, nah, that's not for you. You need this type of caravan. So I started to fulfill this dream. I didn't want to set a date because I went, oh, that's a bit too hard to do. But then I heard Susie Quattro was coming to Townsville and I wanted to see Susie. And I said, well, I'm not leaving before I go see Susie Quattro. So then I said, well, oh, Susie Quattro's on the Saturday, Sunday, I can leave. And once I set the date, I was like, oh my God, I've done it. Oh my God, I've got to do it. And I took all courage to do it. I had lots of guys teach me how to reverse it and hook up. I had no idea how to do all that. But anyway, first of March 2014, I think it was, I packed up and I left, and I cried and screamed and sang "I'm a Wild One" with Susie Quattro all the way out of Townsville, screaming and I can do this. And then I was off. I got to New South Wales. Oh, just before I left, the What's Up Down Under had heard, because I'd signed up to different little Facebook pages on single women travelling or solos travelling. And I had this guy ring me and he said, I'd like to do a story on you. And he said, so when you've done 1,000 kilometres, could you ring me and send me some photos? I freaked. I went, 1,000 kilometres? I can't do 1,000 kilometres.
Brisbane was over 1,000 k's away
And
from
that's when I
Townsville.
went, oh, Brisbane's more than 1,000.
Nearly
And I've got
2,000.
I've got to go more than that. So so once I got to Brisbane and I got to the Gold Coast and I went over the border, I said to Rosie, my dog, I went, oh, we've done it. We've done it. What do we do? Do we keep going or do we turn around? And she was half human. And I think the look she gave me, and I went, yeah, no, let's just keep going. So we kept on going. And and then eventually we did go down as far as the Hunter Valley and out to Tamworth. I did everywhere and just had an absolute ball. So, yeah, I had to put my big girl pants on and I just did it. And the whole time I felt very protected. I felt like I had a steel base all around me, all around the car, and I felt very protected I felt Barry was with me the whole way, and I just knew I was going to be fine. I just went with my gut instinct, and I just knew that I was going to be fine.
Do you think that grief helped shape that courage?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I never in a million years would have thought that I would ever do anything like that. But grief certainly was trying to overpower me, but I had to do the dream for both of us. And so I just went, nah, I can do this. I can do this. And I was determined to do it. So I still don't believe I did it. I still pinch myself and think, oh my God, geez, I was a tough little chickie then.
You were a wild one, Susie Quattro
I
even
was,
agreed.
I was a wild one, and I still love singing that song with
Yeah.
Susie Quattro.
I've seen Susie live lots of times, including just the last time on the Goldie, and
Yeah.
I'll always front up. She's a great
Me too.
inspiration, that chick.
Me too.
Yeah. I have
Me
messaged
too.
her to come onto the podcast as well. I know she'll come on in time.
Yeah, good. Oh,
Yeah.
good. Yes.
Yeah.
But one funny thing that I will tell you what I did
Yeah.
was when I was doing my trip, because I did a couple, and so um, and I do think he hit me in the head again. I kept on saying to myself, "Oh, it's a little bit scary going by yourself. I've got to make it look like I've got someone in the front with me," and I always put Rosie on the back seat, and so I decided to make Barry, and so I got two cushions and I stapled them together. I went and found a wig that he wouldn't use. He wouldn't wear to a party one night. He said, I'm not wearing that. So I said, right. So I squeezed the cushions in and made it look like, a head. And I put a face on it, and then I put the wig on, and I went and got his work shirt. And the whole time I was laughing and laughing, and I had a ball.
Oh,
Anyway,
bloody love it.
it was just a fantastic. And then, so when my son come home, I said to him, I said, hey, check out Dad over there. And he went, what? I'm sure he thought I was losing it. And he said, Mum, what are you doing? I said, well, he's going to sit on the front seat with me, and it's going to look like someone is a male, you know.
Yeah,
So when What's Up Down Under got that story, that is what sold the story. And he rang me and he said, Anne, do you know how many women you have inspired by
absolutely.
doing that? And he said, you have just put smiles on so many women's faces,
Yeah.
because now they are doing it. And they are, because I did have people come up to me and go, I loved your story and I do that now. And I went, oh, okay. I just thought it was like, oh,
No,
I
I love
just
it.
need to do. Yeah. So it
That,
worked.
yeah, it does, and it gives other women permission. Your story, which is why I wanted to talk to you. You'd
Mm,
shared parts of this with Alice and I one day at
yes.
Truly Rocks, and I went. We both left going. We want to put your story out there because we knew,
Mm,
like, we have no idea at the time where the ripples go. So you doing that was just a sensible, clever move as a
yes.
solo woman traveling.
Mm,
And yeah, you're a total influencer. You've
yeah.
influenced women to travel, which is great. It feels safer.
It was, and like to me, it was just, it was just a thought that come into my head, and and that's what I mean. I reckon I still got
Yeah, you're
hips.
trusting your
Taps.
intuition.
I trusted it big time, and I just thought, what can I do? And I thought, I don't want Rosie sitting on the front seat, and otherwise I have to put a seatbelt on her, and she likes to lay down. So I thought, nah, nah. So I've got to do something, and because when I was traveling, I'd see people passing me, and they'd look as if to say, oh, single woman, and I'm going, yeah, well, that's not going to happen. I need something sitting there. So,
Yeah,
yeah, and it
totally.
worked. It was worked. It was good.
So what did you actually just hit in the road by yourself teach you about your own capability? Yes, you got people that helped taught you
Mm,
the mechanics of this is how you back a trailer, all
mm,
those things, or back a
yeah.
van. But what surprised you about what you learned that you could just do?
I surprised myself by really listening to my intuition. And when I didn't listen to myself and run with it, things would happen and I go, damn, should have done that. So I really did learn to go with my gut instinct. It certainly gave me so much joy and happiness and fulfillment, and it helped with the grieving, and to know that I could do it, and I did do it. So I was pretty pretty smacked over it. I was like, yeah, good on you, girl, good on you.
Yeah, I
So
reckon good on you.
yeah,
I
so
agree.
it was really encouraging, and I learned a lot of. Met a lot of women on the road, and they are still my personal friends to this day. I was never a card person or a games person, but they taught me, and so I love playing all these games and everything. So I took that. That's also but that was a good thing to learn later in life, and so now we play cards and games. And I'm still friends with a lot of those women on the road, and they're still on the road and they're loving it.
So what about
Mm.
naysayers? What about strangers who made their own assumptions about a woman traveling solo? What about them saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that"? How did you stick to what, kind of like
Yeah.
quietly defy what they were saying?
I didn't really get that.
Cool.
No, no, I was very surprised, and a lot of people really took it on board and said, "Wow, you are just one of so many that are doing it now." And I think maybe 10 years ago it wasn't heard of as much, or maybe a little bit longer than that, but nowadays is quite it's quite out there, and a lot of the blokes are doing it by themselves as well, and yeah, and you'll just find just a lot of people, grey nomads, are on the road everywhere, and yeah, and they're just saying all the women are just doing it because we
You
can do this
can. You're
because
right.
we can,
Yeah.
yes. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was, I didn't know how to do anything. And once I was shown, I'm a visual person, and once I'm shown and have a go at it, I can do this. And yeah, pat on
Cool.
the back, I can do
So,
it.
did you find your confidence
Oh,
grew in any
oh,
area that surprised you through you traveling?
Oh, my confidence, went from down there way up, and I just, yeah, immensely. And I remember the first day that I reversed the van back on my own in my yard in the house, and I there was no one around, and I went, oh my God, normally I have someone to help me, and I went, oh, I can do this. I'm going, just help me. I can do this. I can do this. Anyway, so I took it nice and slow, and I got out and I put it in exactly the right spot. And I jumped and joyed. And you would think that I'd just won the lotto, because I had that was my confidence building. And then after that, that's when I went, I can do this. Not a problem. I can do this. Yeah. But
Yeah.
if they had said to me, would you like a drive-in site or a reverse site? Oh, I'll take a drive-in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you can choose your hard. We get
Yes,
to choose our
it can
hard
be a little bit
anyway.
easier sometimes, but if I have to do it, I know I can do it. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I know you through the rock and roll dancing world
Mm-hmm.
as you being our teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So you had a big dancing life before in
Yes.
Townsville, before the
Yeah.
roadie.
Yeah. Big
Um,
water roadie. Yes. Yes.
do you
Yes.
think it, or what is it, what does dancing do for you, who you are? What does it give you that nothing else does? Because you have a vibe on you that's so
Yeah.
fucking cool. I love it.
Yeah. Um, dancing is to me, well, dancing is my life, and it just puts me on a different plateau that I can just dance, dance, dance. But if you're in the mood and you just want to let everything go, and just feel it and feel the vibes and just go with it. And I just I can do it blindfolded, and I'm a little bit of a I can just do it now. I've been doing it for so long, but just love it. It just makes you feel good, and just dancing is so good for you. It has so many good things
So
for it,
many health benefits.
so
Yeah.
many health benefits now, that back in the day we just danced because we just liked it. Whereas now these days it's like, oh yeah, I think I should dance, keep on dancing because that helps. Oh yeah, that'll help. Yep, that'll help. Whereas yeah. So now and when I do, when I do triples, or
You
if I
do.
dance
You
with if
okay.
I
For everyone listening, Anne does. She dances. I see you twirling three or four people at a time. And I'm like,
yeah.
how the hell do you do? Okay, so for those of you watching on YouTube, you're now watching Anne dance with four women at once. Go to YouTube if you're just listening to the podcast so you can see it too.
I don't know. I don't know how the brain works sometimes, but it just does it, and
Yeah,
I can just do it. And people say,
yeah, it's
and then I
so
can
cool
just
to
do
watch.
male and female, female, male. I'll just go from
Yeah,
one to the
you
other.
play both parts.
And
Yeah.
then I'll go, people say, how do you do it? And I went, I don't know. I just do it. It's just, yeah, I just do it. And if you love something, it
Yeah.
just comes natural. So it's
Well,
like
I
you
love
was
it, and
just surfing.
I
Yeah,
love
like
it and look forward
yeah.
to dancing as good as you in 20 years.
Oh, you will be. You are. You have
Yeah.
improved so much, and you're just
Yeah.
every week we see a huge difference. So I love your smile.
Oh, we just it lights us up. I get it. It's
It does.
and aging wise, really seriously, balance,
Oh,
huge. Cardio
yes,
fitness, huge.
huge.
Neuroplasticity, like keeping our mental health for preventing Alzheimer's. I think
Yes,
dancing is epic. For
epic.
learning to
Ep-
dance is there's only good healthy things. We are excited to dance the rest of our lives. I watched my
Yes.
parents get old as they stopped dancing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's my parents never danced, and so
Ah,
I don't know where this all came from. And I was
mm,
the only dancer in the family, and so I don't know where it came from. I just felt the vibe. I think when I
yeah,
was young, and like my husband and I used to dance at discos and stuff before we got
yeah.
married. But then after we got married and we had kids, he said he didn't want to dance anymore. And I was like, ah. So yeah, but I
I
went,
love
oh
the
well.
all right, so that's the
Mm,
thing because I've
mm,
got other women that I know too where their partners don't want to, husbands,
yeah.
partners, whatever, don't want to dance. And I'm like, go by yourself, especially like
Yes.
our rock and roll club. Everyone
Yes.
dances with everyone. So there's always
Yes.
someone to dance with. Like, don't
Yes.
hold, if you're listening to
No.
this and you're thinking, oh, I want to dance,
Yeah.
and your partner, husband, wife, whatever doesn't want to,
No.
get off your
Just
ass and go and dance.
and just go. And like
Mm,
I danced for 8 years, and I would just say, I'm going off to do the beginners class. It takes 1 hour, and I'll be back in an hour. And in that hour, he would quite happily iron, cook, clean, wash, anything so that he didn't have to go dancing. And I'd say, I'll go dancing. You can do all the work. And so he did that for 8 years. I'm afraid the only way that I got him was that he actually I dragged him one day and he saw me dancing with a guy, and I said, and then he got jealous. So if
oh,
that's what
you
it
had a
took,
choice then. Yeah, there you
it worked, but it took 8 years.
go.
But yeah, he and then once he did it, he said, "This is so much fun. Why didn't you make me do this?" Duh. So yes, but then he loved it that much that
Yeah.
we danced every night, every day for hours and hours,
Wow.
and I taught him. We learned so much, and eventually he ended up. We taught together, and we end up opening up our own dance school, and so yeah, so he went from not wanting to dance to loving it and wishing he'd done it earlier. So
Mm,
yes, so but just do it because you will never regret it. Once you've learnt it, you might get rusty, but you'll never
it'll come back.
lose. And it's so good for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
Mm.
So you
So,
you when you were in Townsville, you founded Tiny Tappers and not
mm,
to fix kids, but
no,
to give them joy, movement, belonging, all that stuff.
yeah.
What did those kids teach you in you teaching them? Because that I'm sure it went both ways.
Oh, most definitely. I was, as I said, we were teaching adults disabilities, mainly Down syndromes and things, maybe those sort of disabilities more so. And we were teaching them to dance, mainly rock and roll at night time. And then at the time, I was working at a special school, and I thought I could do something with the kids because I was doing all the songs with the kids at school anyway. So I decided to open up this little group called Tiny Tappers. So I started with 5, and I was going to do for 1 hour, I was going to teach them to dance. And so I did my program up, did my songs up, did what I was going to do. And so I had my first 5 come along, and they came. Well, what I wanted to do and what they wanted to do was 2 different things. So I just got that piece of paper and that went over the head. And I went, oh my God, what am I going to do for an hour? I learnt then that what I wanted to do, teach them rock and roll, was not quite their thing. And so I fumbled it, I suppose you'd say, for the next couple of weeks, but really took note what songs they really loved, and within within a couple of weeks, I had them down pat. That hour went so quick, and I did it mainly so that I could have the kids and they could yell and scream and make noise and do whatever they wanted to do. The parents had an hour of time together. That was their time so that they could talk to each other and, um, you know, work out what works for them, and they have their own little chat with their mums together. And I was to have their kids, and I'd give them blowers and streamers, and we would do so many things. And I built it up to 15, and no, I built it up to 20, and it was very, very, very busy for 1 hour, but I had lots of volunteers, and it was the most fabulous afternoon. They they shined, they blossomed. So did I. They took me to another level. I took them to another level. We opened up the Townsville Christmas carols in
Oh,
the
way cool.
we
Yeah.
opened that twice. Twice we were the opening acts at the Christmas carols. So that was very, very special. We had different little demos at different organisations. We would just get together and just have fun, and the kids would just, while they were with me, they knew that they had me around their little finger, I suppose. And I gave them all the musical instruments, and we would make loud noises and everything, and all the parents would go, oh, and I'd say, this, turn off, turn off. This is my time.
Yeah.
So we had all the drums going, we had little things on there that they would roll around, and so it was music and movement, and so we would have games and races and different things, and I just learned a lot from the kids. They were just beautiful kids, and now when they grew to, by the time they grew to 15, they then went on to the level at night time. So obviously, so now the kids have all grown up, and they've all have gone on to the
Dancing with the
nighttime
dogs.
dancing. Yeah. And so, but they were just beautiful kids. And I often
Mm,
look back at the photos and think, wow, yeah. I was pretty spec to do that. Yeah. It was pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah, it was
I
lovely.
I love that you were recognized as well. You won the Paul Harris Award from Rotary.
That
Your
was a
work.
total
That's a
surprise.
that's a big community award to win.
I was very, very surprised. I was traveling at the time when I got a phone call and from this lady, and said she was from Rotary and that I had been nominated. And I said, me? Me? What for? And for Tiny Tappers. And I said, really? And I said, who nominated me? I was like, little old me. And so, anyway, I said, look, they said, can you come and, we want to give it to you on Sunday at breakfast. And I said, I'm traveling. I'm in New South Wales. So I ended up getting a friend to go over. I rang him and said, could you pick it up for me? And that, anyway, so he rang him up, and then he went and received the award for me, and he gave him a big spiel about Tiny Tappers and that. And when he finished, he rang me up and he said, he used to nickname me, called me Rita, and he said, "Hey Rita, do you know how important you are?" And
Yeah,
I went, "What? Me?" And he said, "That's a very high award." And I
that's a
went,
big community award.
I
Yeah.
went, "Really?" So yeah, I was
I love
super,
that you're
super.
recognized for that. Yeah.
I was super, super, super stoked. And so when I returned to Townsville, I rang them up, and I actually went and had breakfast with them all at the meeting
Mm.
and introduced myself. And yeah, they were just beautiful people, and they
Mm.
explained it all. And yeah, I was like, wow, that was very special. Yeah, it was
Well,
lovely.
you've got a
Mm.
gorgeous heart for community, so I love that you were recognized.
Thank you. That was lovely.
So
So,
I'm curious. Sorry, you go.
yeah, there you
No, okay. So imagine you've got a woman listening to you right now who's doubting
go.
herself, thinking, I'm too old, it's too late, it's too risky. What would you say to her? Like really honestly.
Mm. Honestly, I would say listen to your heart, go with what you are thinking. Don't go on the second, third choice. Go the first and just say you can do this. And that was my motto, was I can do this. And so I just kept on saying, put your big girl pants on and you can do this. So, and anyone out there, please just know that it it takes a bit, sometimes it takes a little bit of guts to do it, but you can do it. It's breathe and take it in and just say, I can do it. And you will.
Hmm.
Mm.
I'm curious, who do you think you left behind by doing that trip?
I did leave. It sort of it taught me how many friends that I thought were really good friends, and so I did leave behind friends, acquaintances, and so I've now branched out to, you know who your friends are,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
so yeah. So look, honestly,
Do you think you
everyone
grew?
goes on a journey.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
goes on a journey, and some people are in your life for a short time. Some
yeah.
people are in for a longer time. And so, my journey was there, and then I veered, and then I went, and then I went, and then I went, and then I went, yeah. And so, and along the way, if I did not do the journey, I would not have got me tap on the shoulder from Trev, who is now my new husband,
Hmm.
and who we teach with. And so, if I hadn't have listened to myself and gone with my gut instinct and said I can do this, I would probably still be sitting in North Queensland in the heat, not doing anything like I'm doing now. So it changes. It Things happen for a reason. So
Yeah.
go with your gut. Go with your gut. Mm.
So if you could go back to your 18-year-old self, with the
Mm-hmm.
wisdom you've got today,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say to yourself?
Oh, geez, if I knew what I did
One
then.
piece of advice. Come on. What would you say?
Oh, ah, oh, I don't know. I probably wouldn't do anything too drastic, too much of a change. Yeah, I was pretty level-headed, I think, and I didn't do anything too stupid. I didn't get myself into trouble, and I think that I always did listen to what I was saying, and I did go with what I was always thinking. So I probably wouldn't change too much. Yeah, I think I've done everything correct in this life. Yeah,
Cool. No
and I
extra
like and I
advice to
love.
give your 18-year-old self. That's great.
Yeah, no, no. I think if you do it, if you look back on yourself, and if you'd had some rough times, you'd probably want to change things. But I had a good upbringing. I had a beautiful family. So, and then I married my teenage boyfriend. So I was still in a school uniform when he first met me. He said, "I'm going to marry you," and I went, "Yeah, yeah, yeah."
That's
So
so,
yeah, so he went with his gut instinct too.
yeah.
So yeah, and I think that's just what we've just always done, and I've taught my kids the same thing. Just go with what you know is the right way, and go with what you feel in here.
Yeah.
Mm,
And we love that we know you and you being so happy with Trevor nowadays as
mm,
well. So that next
mm.
chapter evolves. Yeah.
Yes, it does, and it's just we're out to just have fun and enjoy our life, and dancing is part of our life, and just enjoying our beautiful time here on the Gold Coast, and just loving life in general. It's
Yeah.
just beautiful. Yeah.
I agree. Well, I
Mm.
am going to put a link below this. Doesn't matter where you're listening to this, whatever platform for podcasts or on the
Mhm.
YouTube channel. I'll put a link to Border Rockers, which is the
Yeah.
classes that Anne and Trev run, where
Mhm.
Alice and I go to learn to dance. So if you're on the Gold Coast, get your ass there, whether you're single, together with someone else,
Yep.
whatever, get your
Whatever.
ass to a dancing class or check out classes in your town because they add so much to our health and life. I agree.
So much to your health. Exactly.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. And we
Thank you
love having
so
you.
much. Oh, thank you. We love it. It's been hard over the Christmas break. We've been like, we want to go back to classes. So we
Yeah.
spoke that they can't start again this week.
Only
Yeah,
2 more days.
I
Two
know.
more days.
Hanging in there, ready to go.
Yeah.
Thank
Hey,
you so much for your time.
no worries.
You don't we I think all women underestimate the impact that they have on other people.
Mm.
And I really value the time you've given me today because I
No,
know your
thank you.
story will help some other women who may be thinking about, whether
Yeah,
it's going caravanning by themselves or just to do anything to find that courage and take that step.
that's right. Yeah.
So
No,
thank you for
just
your
do
time.
it. Just do it.
Love
Hmm.
it. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Love
you.
you.
I love you too.